Hey guys, David Patrick Green here, hackhollywood.com, hackbollywood.in. Oh gosh, I had this great, amazing idea for a video and I had to share it with you. But before I get started, please like, subscribe, share, make it go viral. Hey, do you mind, Seagull? I'm trying to have a conversation here. Hey, you want to see this guy? That's what's making the noise. Little camera shy, maybe. So this video is basically how to get any part you want. And I'm not kidding. It's actually very doable. Oh, this guy's all over me. Well, maybe I'm near a nest. I don't know. So I'm going to give you two instances where I didn't have a part, or I wasn't in an episode, or what have you, and by doing something or saying something, I got one. So the first instance, which I have mentioned in another video, to which I would provide a link if I only had the energy to look up all of my videos and provide links for them. But I don't. So the first one, I had booked a commercial, and it was a pretty funny commercial, and I thought, wonder how I can get myself into more of these. Not intentionally at the time, but I happened to kind of hit it off with the director, who turns out to be the owner of the ad agency that was making the spot. And I said, hey, we should exchange emails, you know. So whether he thought we were going to be friends or not, whatever, he gave me his email. And, we communicated a lot, or, well, actually not a lot, a little. And he was based in New York and I was in Los Angeles. And it was just like, blah, blah, blah. And I had an idea for another spot because it was comedic and I thought this really could have legs. I played this pilot for JetBlue Airways and everybody kept saying how lucky I was to fly for JetBlue with their new planes, DirecTV and leather seats. And I kept saying, I don't fly for JetBlue. And my son slams the door in my face and says, no wonder mom left, which was kind of controversial. But I thought that's a good idea. And there was a guy out at the time who was the Dell guy. And I thought, I want to be the JetBlue guy. So I thought, well, what if this kind of loser pilot just keeps reappearing in different scenarios? And so I wrote an idea. I said, what if the pilot was at a bar and these beautiful women come up to him and they say, hey, how are you? Must be great flying for JetBlue with their new planes, DirecTV and leather seats. And, I just sent it off to him, like thinking, like this is going to work, right? He goes, oh, that's pretty funny. I'll ask the VP of marketing over at JetBlue. I'm like, whoa, I couldn't believe that. 2 days later, I don't know how long later, he goes, she loved it. We'd like to fly you to New York, first of all, to do a voiceover spot. I had never done voiceover. I didn't know how to do voiceover. I'm like, what? But they actually did the exact spot that I conceived of, flew me to New York, put me up in a hotel. Then after we shot the voice spot, they came out to Los Angeles and we shot a TV version of the very same commercial. And we were going to do a whole bunch of them. I said, I have a whole bunch of these. He's like, great. And then unfortunately, some pilot for another airline got caught drunk at a bar before he was getting on the plane. And it caused, everybody scared, even though it was unrelated. That was all they needed to hear. And that was kind of canceled. But I got two spots. Not only that, because I conceived of it, they had to expense the writing of the commercial, right? That would normally be expensed by the writing department at the agency. But since it was my idea, he generously wrote me a check for I don't know how many thousands of dollars as the writer. So I actually did my first voiceover spot and got my first professional writing credit without even trying. But all I was trying to do was, keep the relationship alive and, throw ideas at him. and it worked out amazingly well. The second instance, so guys, when I tell you these stories, I'm not telling you to copy me. I'm trying to get you to think on your feet. When a situation arises, think about what you could do for this person. Think about how you can help them out. Do you have an idea? And share the idea. Don't be scared. Don't think, oh, they're a professional, I'm nobody. Trust me, everybody in Hollywood or wherever, all creatives are always looking for inspiration. And, I've even gotten to write TV show ideas and been paid for those as well for reality shows that I had an idea for. But this other story that I wanted to tell you, it's another pretty funny one, based on just my own, I would call it my own idiocy, meaning I'm never scared to say something that is obviously stupid, so I like to just be an idiot sometimes, say something stupid, self-deprecating, whatever, or it could be, self-aggrandizing, but I'm on this show, which is actually, it has been on Netflix, I'm not sure if it's still there, it's called Intelligence, of which I am immensely proud. It was an amazing show. And I had been hired to do one episode. Then they brought me back to do a couple more or something like that. So being DPG, I was talking to the director. Well, he was actually the writer and also the creator of the show. And I said, hey man, and I'd been working out a lot because didn't have a lot to do other than act and work out. And I was getting myself in pretty good shape. And I said to the creator, Chris Haddock, I said, hey Chris, and I had been working in some scenes with this woman who was a Russian prostitute because they were I was like I was a CIA mole in the Canadian government, and they were on to me. So they had gotten this Russian prostitute to, hook up with me so that they could find out, who I really was. But so we had a few scenes together, and she was beautiful. And for fun, I said to the guy, I said, hey, Chris, I've been working out. I'm looking pretty good. So if you need me to do a love scene, I'm your guy, right? And again, I thought, oh yeah, this is that's going to work, right? Well, the next table read we had, he brought me in for some more episodes. The next table read we had, we're reading through the script, and lo and behold, I have a love scene with this woman, which terrified me because I was just being an idiot, right? I wasn't serious. So I had never done a love scene on camera before, and I was making a big deal out of it because I thought, oh my gosh, I knew she was married, and I'm thinking about all this other stuff, which I shouldn't, because acting is a profession, and part of acting is doing whatever it says in the script. It's not personal, but I didn't know at the time, right? I was being too insecure at the time. So anyway, there's just two amazing instances. And after doing that, I did the love scene. It was great. Not meaning it worked out fine. And, I think the word is ingratiated. I think that means I endeared myself to these people by being goofy, by being vulnerable, by, saying stupid things. Then they trust you. When you're willing to make an ass out of yourself, they trust you because they know you're not just all about yourself. You're willing to look bad, make yourself look bad by making fun of yourself or what have you. And just, trying to, to join the group or whatever. And so just by doing that, I was able to create a lot of work for myself. I ended up being in 9 episodes total, or 8 or 9 episodes total of this series. Obviously, I turned one job, one commercial into 3 commercials, plus a writing credit. Plus, after that, it came time to renegotiate the TV rights for this commercial, and because it was a non-union spot, and they had originally paid me $500, which is a joke. But by then I was in the union, and my agent, of course, like agents will do, said, oh yeah, they're going to pay you $500 for another year. And I said, are you kidding? Are you going to negotiate that? Oh, I'm sure they're not going to pay more. This is how bad agents are. They're horrible, as a rule. Just terrible, useless. So I said, seriously? I'm in SAG now. I should be getting $20,000. Like, that's what I'd be getting paid if I was in a national union spot. And they're just gonna, they're gonna spend millions on the media buying the airtime, but they're gonna pay me $500. I don't think so. So I said they can do one of two things. They can either pay me $10,000 cash, or they can calculate and pay me what SAG rates would be. And honestly, I thought they were gonna go for SAG rates because I didn't, I thought 10,000 sounded like a lot. It sounded crazy the way my agent was talking. And so I said, that's it. Pay me 10,000 or pay me SAG rates or forget it. Like, go screw yourself. Like, don't try and don't try and rip me off. And then of course my agent, whose side are they on? They're on the producer's side. So I said no. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll tell him. And I'm sure when he said, he's like, I'm so sorry, but David's crazy. Oh my God. Like, I know you should only pay him 500. Anyway, he said, look, he wants 10,000 or this. Within 24 hours, check's on the way, 10 grand. So I got paid 20 times what I got paid for an entire year for the first time around. Right? They paid me $500, then they paid me $10,000, plus the 2 other spots, plus the writing check. So all that by just suggesting, just staying in touch. And if you have an idea, you don't know if it's good or bad, you just never know, right? The only way to find out, and this is really the cardinal rule, don't ever think you know how something's going to turn out. Find out how something's going to turn out by doing it. All right, guys, you might hear that theme a few more times. Eventually you'll get it. Anyway, let me know what you thought. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, clarifications that you guys need, let me know. If you need my services, you guys know how to reach me. Okay, hackhollywood.com, David at hackhollywood.com. And I'll see how I can help you, like I help everyone else. Talk to you soon.